Now, the title of this video was not clickbait. I truly mean it because I think the value of Bitcoin will get to $1 million within the next 10 to 15 years. But this video is more than just MicroStrategy being worth more than Apple or the Saudi Arabia company. I'm not sure which one is the top in market cap in the future. It's really about um, having a long-term game plan and vision, but also just a simple concept of dollar cost average. So, what is dollar cost average? Well, it's investing the same amount of money in a security or an asset in regular intervals over a set amount of time. And it kind of disregards the noise. I'll say price action, I'll say dips and rises. It doesn't care because dollar cost average is a concept for long-term thinkers, visionaries, or horizons, time objectives, etc., etc. So this article is from CoinGape. Michael Saylor's 4 billion Bitcoin gamble is slowly but steadily inching towards profitability. One other note: now Michael Saylor wrote a book in the early 2000s. I forgot the title of it, but he kind of foresaw the tech trends and revolutions that we have today, from the computer to the handheld computer, the iPhone, Android, etc., etc. But it's an interesting book. I have not read it; just read the what it was about. So from that observation, I said this guy's a visionary, and um, he doesn't care. He's keeps buying for MicroStrategy and himself. So in any event, let's get into the article. One other thing I will say is whether you have $1 million or a dollar, I try to teach my son this. Um, just every week, buy a little bit of Bitcoin. You won't regret it. All right. So again, this article is from CoinGape. Michael Saylor's 4 billion Bitcoin gamble is slowly but steadily inching towards profitability. After being a negative for the past 3 quarters, the popular Bitcoin bet that MicroStrategy has been offering appears to be on its way back towards becoming profitable. Um, MicroStrategy now has, this article is a little dated because he just purchased another $150 million worth of Bitcoin, which I think it's now. He has 140,000. He owns 1% of all Bitcoin out there, or that will ever be mined. Um, so this is a little outdated, but Bitcoin's value has risen by almost 73% over the past 3 months. This represents the largest quarterly gain in the past 2 years. However, the price dropped by 64% during the course of the previous year. So we went from the lows of 5K during the pandemic. The Feds printed all this money. Uh, Bitcoin and other assets rose. Bitcoin rose to 64, 67. Has gone down as low as 16. Is now at 28ish. Corporation has written off around half of its Bitcoin investment by the end of the year. Saylor has increased the size of his investment on Bitcoin despite the erratic behavior of both the share price and the value of the cryptocurrency. So again, he doesn't really care what's happening to price, as he's playing the long game. And it all kind of started back in August of 2020. Saylor made his first public admission that he was purchasing Bitcoin, citing the risk of growing inflation. He argued that the digital currency was a better alternative than conventional investments like short-term treasuries for the software company's funds. So he's a pioneer, right? He was first, I guess he was the first public company to vocalize what he was doing, and he actually got other public companies on board and helped them navigate the channels of accounting, um, and was able to help other companies, small and large, buy Bitcoin for their company as well. So let's just go to the chart of MicroStrategy. This is November of 2020 when he started buying, and it went from 170 to $1,300, and now it sits at 290. Right, so even though the price crashed, I don't know, 75%, if you are a longer term holder of recent anyway, you're still up. This was the .com bubble. How did it go here? Holy. Wow. $3,300. Alright. So that's what it looks like on the monthly. We're going to go down to the weekly. And, since April of last year, the price has been range bound. This blue box represents a daily seller's level. It's pretty used up. I don't know if there's any remaining unfilled sell orders at this level. However, if and when price breaks out, I do anticipate a pullback before breaching this level. Let's go to the daily chart just to see it a bit better. So we can say that price is in a nice short-term uptrend. Price is being supported by a bunch of moving averages stacked on each other. Let's look at that daily seller zone a bit more. This was a drop in price, basing candles, and a huge drop on huge volume. Price came back and then fell again. So price penetrated the zone more than 75%. This level is probably used up. And so I do anticipate it's still a reaction, but what do trends do? They have an impulse, pullback impulse. So again, the title was not clickbait. There was a purpose behind the title. The lesson of this video is to dollar cost average, play the long game. It's a lot easier, a lot less stressful. Have conviction, as Michael Saylor does in Bitcoin. I do think he will be right. So why I invested in Bitcoin? You will see the dollar it will continue to decline. You will see that the dollar will no longer become the world reserve currency. You can see the China and Russia leading a BRIC initiative to move away from the US dollar. That's all bullish for Bitcoin. All fiat is designed to go down in value based on inflation. That's bullish for Bitcoin. You can't make any more than 21 million tokens of Bitcoin. That's bullish. You figure that roughly 4 to 5 million Bitcoins have been lost forever. So really the supply is roughly like 15 million. That's bullish for Bitcoin. We haven't even gotten into central banks at some point buying Bitcoin. that's also bullish for Bitcoin. So, all these reasons, I believe MicroStrategy we will be the number one company in terms of market cap in the future because of Bitcoin. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.